When I started WealthVoice in 2020, I didn't know if it was the right way to do it, but my gut said, don't take investors, bootstrap it, see if you can make it work on, this is your allowance. Like I gave myself an allowance of, here's your budget to get this thing launched. Validate the idea. And everyone's obsessed with getting investors, but you shouldn't do that necessarily. Not having investors meant I own 100% of the business. I still do.
I imagine there are things that you can help spur that kind of moment along.
Right. The whole idea of marketing and branding really does live in the subconscious. So there's a whole psychology element to everything you're doing and the way that people perceive it and whether they like you, know you, trust you, want to do business with you, and making people feel connected. Like when I talk to our customers, they say that's the biggest thing. If you're the business owner and you're spending how many hours a year making phone calls? Hundreds, probably. You can get your day back and still have that same warm effect when you share your voice. That's an efficiency. It's a time savings. So looking for efficiencies without sacrificing intimacy. Having fewer cooks in the kitchen when we were building WealthVoice, in some ways it might have slowed me down, but I don't have to answer to anyone as far as investors telling me what to do with the app. And that was a good fit.
So can you be passive doing what you do as a woman?
No, but I'm still I'm figuring out the roles and the people that I've hired to help with that process.
Yeah.
I was the CEO and the janitor for a while, but I wanted it to be lean. It felt like quite a while because it was COVID. It's only been like a year plus.
But that's in entrepreneurship years, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
Right?
But at the time I was doing it, a lot of people said, oh, why don't you get investors and your valuation could be XYZ? And it never felt right. Just like vision boards don't feel right. Everyone's obsessed. The 4 a.m. club, get up early and manifest this and do your fasting, do your morning journal, the routine. Nothing about that works for me. If I were in a routine like I was when I worked in corporate, I would have never done anything creative or taken a risk. You can broadcast your voice in minutes onto any smart speaker, onto over 16,000 Alexa devices, actually.
Wow. So then how, after they put their voices on Alexa, how do they target the right audience?
You would use WealthVoice just like any other podcasting app, but it has greater reach and less noise. We talk about MVPs with startups, with products, minimum viable product. That's okay, but there's actually a more helpful concept, which is just validate the idea before you even build the MVP. What is it to prototype a product? How do you do that correctly without wasting time or money?
We were on a panel together earlier. I thought you made some interesting points. Tell me a little bit, though, first about WealthVoice, what it is you're building there, because I think it's really unique and very different.
Basically, it's our hands-free homepage.
An easy way to validate an idea before even spending money or time building the thing is kind of do a fake out like Buffer did with the landing page of, would you like to sign up for this social media scheduling tool? It's $9.99 a month. And however many people clicked, like, okay, people want this. Let's go build it. Versus, I'm going to take investors' money or my own money.
Like if you had 4 bullet points of like your best lessons that you've learned from being an entrepreneur, especially in financial services as a woman, what would those 4 kind of pain points be?
4 in particular?
3, let's do 3.
Okay. Oh, here's the biggest one. Don't assume that you know what the problem is. What happens a lot of the time when you think of a solution, you've already made an assumption about what problem you're solving. I didn't fully understand the problem I was solving. What I did with WealthVoice was I found a way to build a super simple version and get some customers on. I said, use this, see if you like it. Tell me what you would rather have it do, or if it's great how it is. Then I'll go finalize building it. And especially now with AI, I mean, this was 2020. Now with AI, you could use no code. You could build anything. You don't need $200,000 to build your MVP. That's like 5 years ago. There's no reason to have so much bloat. And everybody, I think this is going to change culturally with the idea of it being laudable to have a ton of money invested. So many companies have so much investment and they never validated the idea. Just keep it lean, small, and inexpensive while you're prototyping it. Experiment. So, bottom line, prototype, don't plan. Kevin Kelly for that inspo. Thanks for listening. See you next time.